The avoidant thought they had you figured out. You were predictable, reliable, consistent in your pursuit, and available whenever they decided to return. They could withdraw, and you would wait. They could be inconsistent, and you would adapt. They could offer breadcrumbs, and you would accept them gratefully. This predictability gave them complete control over the dynamic, allowing them to engage and disengage at their convenience without real consequence. But something has shifted. You are no longer playing the role they assigned you. Your behavior has become unpredictable in ways that unsettle them. And more importantly, you are demonstrating a power they never recognized you possessed. The avoidant is realizing they miscalculated, and this realization is forcing them to see you in an entirely different light. Subscribe to understand why becoming unpredictable to an avoidant shifts the entire power dynamic and how your evolution changes. Everything they thought they knew, you no longer react according to their script. The avoidant built their entire strategy around your predictable reactions. When they pulled away, you would chase. When they were cold, you would try harder. When they created distance, you would attempt to close it. This pattern allowed them to maintain control while avoiding vulnerability. But now, when they withdraw, you do not pursue. When they reach out after silence, you do not immediately respond with enthusiasm. When they offer minimal effort, you do not compensate by offering more. Your responses have become variable, measured, unpredictable. Sometimes you engage warmly. Sometimes you maintain polite distance. Sometimes you do not respond at all. The avoidant cannot anticipate your behavior anymore, and this unpredictability is deeply unsettling. They realize they no longer hold the power they assumed they had. They cannot manipulate your emotions by creating scarcity. They cannot control the relationship by controlling their own availability. You have become a variable they cannot calculate, and this forces them to recognize that you are not the desperate, predictable person they believed you to be. Your indifference feels more threatening than your pursuit ever did. When you were pursuing, the avoidant felt safe in their power. Your need for them confirmed their desirability and justified their distance. But your current indifference triggers something far more destabilizing: the fear that they have lost relevance in your life. The avoidant is realizing that you are genuinely building a life without them, not as strategy, but as authentic evolution. You are not pretending to be unbothered. You actually are unbothered. This shift is powerful because it suggests you have moved beyond the point where their approval or presence defines your emotional state. The avoidant realizes they are no longer central to your world, and this marginalization is more threatening than any pursuit you could have engaged in. Your power lies in your genuine disinterest, in your capacity to exist fully without them, in your refusal to organize your life around their inconsistent availability. This power cannot be dismissed or devalued because it is not about them at all. It is about you choosing yourself. And that choice makes you unpredictable in ways that force them to confront their own irrelevance. They cannot use their usual tactics to regain control. The avoidant has a playbook of tactics they use to reassert control when they feel they are losing it. They create jealousy. They breadcrumb just enough attention to keep someone hooked. They withdraw to make their presence feel scarce and valuable. But none of these tactics are working on you anymore. When they try to make you jealous, you are genuinely unbothered. When they offer breadcrumbs, you do not accept them. When they withdraw, you do not chase. The avoidant is realizing that their usual manipulation strategies are ineffective because you have fundamentally changed the game. You are not operating from a place of insecurity or need that their tactics could exploit. You are operating from a place of self-worth and wholeness that makes you immune to their patterns. This is profoundly powerful because it forces the avoidant to recognize that if they want any connection with you, they will have to show up differently. They cannot coast on your predictability anymore. They cannot rely on your willingness to accept less than you deserve. They are being confronted with the reality that you have options, standards, and the self-respect to walk away if those standards are not met. Your power lies in your willingness to walk away. The most powerful and unpredictable thing you have demonstrated is your genuine willingness to leave and mean it, not as a threat or manipulation, but as a boundary. The avoidant is realizing that you are not bluffing, that your presence in their life is conditional on them showing up with genuine effort and respect, and that you would rather be alone than accept inconsistency. This is the ultimate power because it removes their leverage completely. They can no longer keep you waiting. They can no longer assume you will be there whenever they decide they are ready. You have become someone who values themselves enough to demand reciprocity, and this demand is both powerful and unpredictable because the avoidant never expected you to reach this level of self-respect. They are realizing too late that the person they took for granted has evolved beyond needing them, and now they must decide whether they are capable of rising to meet you or whether they will lose you permanently to their own patterns.